AM 1460, the new WXBR. Mike Paiva here with you on this Monday morning. This is PM in the AM, the Metro South Morning Show. And joining us on the phone right now, former WCW World Champion, author, actor, fitness instructor, and creator of DDP Yoga, DDP himself, Diamond Dallas Page. Thank you for joining us on the program this morning.
Hey, man, thanks for that introduction. You pretty much locked it all in there.
Dallas, I'm a huge wrestling fan, but I'm going to forego the normal wrestling interview because I feel like what you're doing now and what you've been doing in the past few years is really kind of trumped that as far as helping people and making their lives better. And I kind of want to talk about that more than anything on the program this morning. How's that sound?
Works for me, man.
So you started off with Yoga for Regular Guys, which was YRG originally, and this was what, back in 1998 you were recovering from an injury?
Yeah, right. At the end of, I'd say the end of 98, going to 99, and I ruptured my L4 and L5, which basically means I blew my back out so badly that 3 different back specialists told me my career was over.
Mm-hmm. And you didn't take that as an answer, apparently.
Well, I just signed a multi-million-dollar 3-year deal, and, I didn't start wrestling until I was 35 years old, and my career did not take off until I was 40. So that was in 1996, and that just happened to be when wrestling blew through the roof. Mm-hmm. And I was so lucky enough to be in the right place at the right time and put all the work in, and I was riding that wave really strong, wrestling 270-plus days a year. So, people can say what they want about professional wrestling. You appreciate it. Some people, they don't get it. But the one thing rings true no matter what is you cannot fake gravity. And we hit our back so many times, and just our whole body takes such a beating that by the time it got to, end of 98, my back just blew out. And so I was at the top of the game. According to Pro Wrestling Illustrated, I was rated number 4 wrestler in the world, 97 and 98. Mm-hmm. So I really did not want it to end. And so I reached and started looking into stuff. And around that time, my wife, I was still married to Kimberly, and she was like, you should try yoga to heal your body. I was like, yoga?
Right.
I'm not doing yoga. I'm a guy who wouldn't be caught dead doing yoga the first 42 years of my life. But I was desperate. So, I gave it a shot. I was blown away by how much it helped me. And in less than 3 months, with what would become DDP Yoga, I was back in the ring. At 42, they said my career was over. At 43, I was the heavyweight champion of the world. So, I'm going to keep doing that. And I made it part of my lifestyle. And when I finally retired from wrestling, I stopped lifting weights completely. I just do DDP Yoga, which is a combination of old school calisthenics, sports rehabilitation techniques, yoga positions, and something I call dynamic resistance, which is something that jacks your heart rate up and gets you to fat burn zone, literally standing still. So for anybody who's listening out there, DDP Yoga is kick-ass cardio. It will dramatically increase your flexibility and your core strength conditioning. Here's the kicker, though. With minimal joint impact. It doesn't beat up your body. It heals your body.
We're chatting with Diamond Dallas Page this morning. I want to tell a real quick story. About last year, I was perusing the Internet, and a video popped up about a very inspiring transformation by the name man by the name of Arthur Borman. Now, I watched this video. I was very inspired. Not going to lie. Tear came to my eye. And then at the end of the video, Dallas, he mentioned your name. And I was blown away by this. And now it has just completely come to a point where you are just out there helping people and changing their lives. How did you first hear about Arthur Borman and his transformation?
Well, my DDP Yoga program, back then it was YRG, but it's all my different workouts. YRG is one of my sets of workouts that I do. Anybody who got a program from me, I'd write them. I had their email. So I'd say, hey, I'm not trying to sell you anything. Mm-hmm. I just, you already got the program. I just love to get some feedback from you. And his was amazing. So, I wrote him back, tell me more about yourself. Found out he was a disabled veteran.
Right.
Found out that, he considered himself, what did he say? I relegated to thinking of myself as a piece of furniture. That was his words. Told me he was morbidly obese and that, this was his last shot.
And doctors...
I think send me some pictures.
Doctors said that he wouldn't even be able to walk unassisted without crutches, without braces. And that changed.
Like, that was never going to happen. And what happened over a 10-month period, he lost 140 pounds. But more importantly, he lost those knee braces, the back brace, and those wraparound canes. And not only walk, but run. That video was actually highlighted in Google's top 100 videos of the year.
Mm-hmm.
They had the flash of him running. I mean, that's how inspired. It's over 10 million, almost 10 million views. If you go to ddpyoga.com, you can see the whole video. It's pretty inspiring video.
Yeah, it's quite amazing. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. DDP, you mentioned dynamic resistance. Explain a little bit more what dynamic resistance is and how DDP yoga differs from other workout routines.
Well, I'll tell you, I'll do it with you right now. Make sure your arms are clear, okay? Because you're talking on the microphone.
Mm-hmm.
But make sure you're clear enough that you can not have to hit the microphone. Because you're going to raise your arms up. And if you're listening to this at home, I want you to try it right now. I say dynamic resistance can jack your heart rate up. I don't even want you to stand up. Just say sitting down. What I want you to do is put your thumb and index fingers together, like make the diamond cutter sign. So you push your two thumbs, your two index fingers together, and open your fingers. Don't push them together. Just open them and keep them open. Now I want you to push your thumb and index fingers against each other really hard. Now when you do that, your inside of your forearm, your bicep, and your pectoral muscle all have to engage, right, Mike?
Mm-hmm. I feel it.
Okay, now straighten your arms, but keep pushing your thumb and index fingers against each other. Now pull your pinkies away from your thumb, and I don't mean just open your hand. I mean pull your pinky away from your thumb. Now your hand will get engaged, the outside of your forearm, your tricep, your deltoid. If you're really squeezed, so will your lats. Can you feel that?
I feel it.
Okay, now don't just lift your arms up like I would come out for the diamond cutter sign up. Lift it up with resistance. Create your own resistance as you're moving. As if you're moving through clay. Keep pushing your thumb and index fingers together as you're lifting your arms, pulling your pinkies away from each other. Now, when you get as far back as you can go without being uncomfortable, reach your arms out to a sign of a cross or a T. When you get there, clench your fists really tight. Now bring your fists towards each other, engaging your muscles, flexing your biceps. I call it Hulk it up. Pull your thumbs and index, pull your fists together, your biceps together. Now open your fingers wide. Attention, shoulders back, chest out. At ease. Tell me you're not starting to try to start to sweat right now.
I can feel it on my forehead right now.
You haven't done anything yet. I teach people how to kick their ass with that in the beginning, so there's no impact. When you're engaging a muscle, here's a great analogy. You're laying in bed, your heart rate will be the lowest it'll be for the day, right?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
So now sit up. What's going to happen to your heart rate when you sit up?
It's going to raise.
When you stand up?
Even more.
And walk, jog, run, sprint. Your heart rate keeps going up because here's what's happening. Every time you flex or engage a muscle, your heart has to beat faster to get the blood to the muscle. That's exactly what I'm doing with DDP yoga. That's what dynamic resistance is. No one's ever done it. Now the proof in the pudding is you wear a heart monitor so you can see it happen. What's really great, Apple's got this new app, the iPhone does, and I just got it. So now my heart rate monitor hooks right to my phone, and it's on the same frequency that your heart rate monitor is, so it doesn't matter how many other people in the room are doing this. So at the end of my workout, I did a workout yesterday for 52 minutes. I did it's like my diamond cutter workout.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the 52 minutes, I had burned 646 calories. I had stayed in my fat burning zone the entire time. My high end was 148. My low end was like, the beginning when I started, which was about 80. But I averaged the entire time about 130, which is the highest end of my fat burning zone for me. And it's all like documented there. So every day it'll go back to the phone and it'll start to create a journal. So just that's brand new. That comes if you have an iPhone. It's just brand new to the whole system. So that was really interesting to me. And, it's all about tracking what your progress is so you can see your health constantly getting better, your conditioning getting better, your body fat getting lower. It's all about, to me, it's about living a healthy, strong lifestyle.
Now, if I head on over to ddpyoga.com, Dallas, are there different levels of the service that people can do? Are there a pack for beginners or maybe people who want to do a little bit more?
Well, I say more if people want to try it, get the level 1 pack, because I've in all of the first 2 packs, I have level, beginner, intermediate, and advanced. And you work your way. There's always someone doing a modification of the move, so that you're never going to find that in any kind of most workouts don't have that. They just show you what to do. They don't tell you what to do to get there. And I always have someone modifying the position. As a matter of fact, Arthur Borman, if you do the first workouts, for 25 minutes, that's all they are in the beginning is 25 minutes. And I tell people, if you do DDP yoga 25 minutes a day, 3 days a week, you'll change the way you feel without question. If you do it 4 days a week, 40 minutes a day, you change your life. If you do it 5 minutes a day, or I should say 5 times a week, an hour a day, well, you're going to own your life. So it comes down like, what do you want? And level 1 is our least expensive package. If someone just to try it, I suggest they get that. If they want to own it and really do it, I suggest they get the combo pack. And that's a total of 11 workouts. You get the program guide, you get the poster, you get access to Team DDP Yoga. And that's the best damn support system on the planet. And then, of course, I have my extreme workout, which is, I don't do that every day, but I do that at least once a week, sometimes twice a week. And I've got a bunch of different, stuff that's pretty crazy stuff, you can do. And it just shows you there's always someplace else to go.
We're chatting with Diamond Dallas Page, creator of DDP Yoga. Let's talk a little bit about the accountability crib, Dallas. I'd say about a couple years ago, Jake Roberts joined you at the accountability crib. And Jake, as we all know, had some vices in his life. And he wanted to make a change. And you took him in, and it's not only just the program, it's a lifestyle change. You brought him in, and go ahead.
No, you got it. You got it. Finish thing.
It definitely is a lifestyle change. Now, Jake wasn't the only one to join you. You also had Scott Hall join later on as well. Do you think that Scott would have come along if it wasn't for Jake being there first?
Well, first of all, Jake's been here. It'll be a year in October,
wow.
So it's just been 1 year. And the changes that he's gone through his life are nothing less than amazing, like crazy. I would never have brought Scott in without Jake, because one of the things Scott has said to me for years, Dally, you just don't know. Right. You're not an alcoholic. You're not a pillhead. You're not a junkie. You don't know what we go through. I go, no, you're right. But Jake is.
Right.
So he never said that again. And he came in here and he's lost about 30-some pounds. He looks great. He's in great spirits. He comes down to work out with me a couple times a week. He lives a mile from us now. He's down the street. So, he's doing great. And hopefully he'll stay doing great, But he'll be the first to tell you, it ain't over. He's got a long way to go.
We had Lex Luger on the program a few weeks ago, and he seems to be in good spirits as well. Right now he's working with WWE as part of their wellness program. Has there been any contact to have you get on board with them and to help maybe the current crop of wrestlers?
Triple H and I have talked about coming into what they call Next, which is where a lot of the guys are in Orlando, the new guys coming up, and talked about me heading down there to do a seminar, for the guys. And I take care of all, any of the guys who are in the business that, made it to the show or are a step away from it. Because this is something that they need to be doing. Because if you really look at athletes out there who have been able to have long careers, they're multifaceted. They just don't lift weights. They have some sort of yoga routine in their repertoire somewhere. Mm-hmm. Again, DDP yoga, it ain't your mama's yoga. And that's one of the reasons why so many of the boys love it. Jericho, he was out. He was done 2 years ago. And then he started doing my program. He had herniated his L4, and he was like done. He was never going to get in that ring again. But 3 months later, he was 100% pain-free and headlined WrestleMania 2 years ago.
Right.
So Chris will work for like 4 to 6, 7 months. Then he'll take off and tour with his band Fozzy. What was really amazing was last year, last Royal Rumble, he hadn't been on TV in about 5 months. And when you're not on TV, you're not wrestling. And it's a certain type of style that you got to condition your body to be a wrestler. And normally you come back when your first time back, first 10 minutes, you're going to be blowing sky high because you're not in shape to do that. Chris was number 2 in the Rumble, wrestled for 47 minutes and 53 seconds. He does one workout. He does not lift weights. He doesn't do any other form of cardio except DDP yoga. It was a great testimony to my workout. It's amazing.
I guess it takes Positively Page to a new level.
Yeah, it really does. And, Chris really gave what we were doing a lot of legitimacy, and he got so many guys to do it. One of the guys he got to do it was Ryback. And Ryback did all the research on it. He had a seriously bad injury. He had to his ankle into his foot. It was looking like he was never going to wrestle again. But again, minimal joint impact helps heal your body as opposed to beat up your body. So like normal cardio. The only thing that has no impact to it when it comes to cardio would be either the bike or the elliptical. But what's that going to do for your flexibility and your core strength? Nothing. That's the answer. Nothing. If anything, it's going to take it backwards. And that's the thing about DDP yoga. You're going to get crazy flexible, and your core strength is going to improve like never before. And just to use me as the example, go to ddpyoga.com. On the top, one of the top tabs, say DDP Yoga in the news. Run your mouse over that. Then you'll see DDP at 57 years young. There's some crazy stuff that I can do, core strength-wise and flexibility-wise. But look for the one for the superhero push-ups. You know what a superhero push-up is, Mike?
I don't. Tell me.
If you go all the way down to the ground and a push-up, now lay there on your stomach and stretch your arms out in front of you like Superman. Stick your hands and your feet off the ground. Mm-hmm. Keep them straight, just like Superman. Now put your palms on the ground, your toes on the ground, lift your body off the ground. It's a whole nother level. I filmed myself doing 50 on January 6th of 2013. Wrestled from 35 to 46, took off 2.5 years, came back at 49 to wrestle with TNA for a year. Kicked ass and retired. So I know what this workout does and why I have so many people doing it and why we have so many crazy, amazing transformations. It's mainly because people understand that the workout is what it's about, and the people who want to lose weight, they come to grips with eating real food as opposed to processed garbage.
We're chatting with Diamond Dallas Page, creator of DDP Yoga. One more question before I let you go, Dallas. Tell us a little bit about the DDP Yoga Retreat.
Oh, that was amazing. We just had our third one, and there was 80 people there. And we do it in Mexico every year. I have this amazing 5-star resort, and it's really economical, mainly because we go in July. And instead of doing 1 week this year, we're going to do 2 back-to-back, because some people, if you can't make 1 week, maybe you can make the other week, and you can go for 3 or 4 days, or you can go for 11. And but we've already got 20 people signed up to go all the 11 days, and I'm only taking 80, total. And it's because I want to spend time with everybody. And, we work out hard. We got 1 or 2 workouts a day. You don't have to make them both, but your choice if you want to. We have specialty classes as well. We eat really good, really healthy food that tastes just out of this world amazing. I do a couple of seminars as well for the cooking, which is just cooking and the baking, which is, show people how amazing real food tastes, and we party. After the second workout, you can pretty much, we're heading down to my pool. There's the casitas down there. The place is so beautiful. All the rooms are amazing, but the casita rooms are just off the hook. And they got the pool bar and the lagoon and the whole swim-up pool bar. So a lot of the people get the casitas in the same area that I'm in. But the people who don't, they just come on down and we all jump in the pool. And after the workout, we have some cocktails. And then a bunch of us, we have different groups that meet for dinner. And, we have a lot of special activities there as well. And the people love it. If you go to ddpyogaretreat.com, you can see just a video clip of just a bunch of us hanging out at one of the parties we had and people talking about, the retreat. Our reviews are insane. So read those as well, and you'll see, what it's about. It's pretty cool. And we'll be doing it again this July.
July 5th through 9th and the 10th through the 15th, correct?
Yep.
Fantastic. Dallas Page, I want to thank you for joining us on the program this morning, and I want to thank you for what you've been doing lately, especially helping everybody out in the transformation that people are making. Head on over to ddpyoga.com. Follow DDP on Twitter at RealDDP. Dallas, thank you for joining us on the program this morning. Any last words before we let you go?
If you're out there and you really want to take control of your life, go to ddpyoga.com. It's not just a workout. It's not like any kind of a diet. It's more of a lifestyle. And when you make it part of your lifestyle, anything's possible. Well, thank you for having me on, Mike, and look forward to talking to you again.
Thanks, man. Take care. Appreciate it. That was Diamond Dallas Page. You're listening to the new WXBR 1460. We'll be back right after this.